Have you ever stopped to wonder how a company like Apple gets from a simple idea, maybe even a sketch on a napkin, to the actual product that ends up in your hands? Or how a tiny startup can take just a spark of inspiration and turn it into a global force? Well, it all boils down to having a really clear plan, and that's exactly what we're going to deconstruct today.
And really, it all kicks off with this powerful idea, which Steve Jobs just nailed. It's not about being forced or pushed to do something. It's about being pulled forward by a vision that's so compelling you can't help but move towards it. That vision, that's the real engine behind any great company. It's like a magnetic force that gets everyone and everything pulling in the same direction.
Okay, so to find their way in the business world, every organization needs what you could call a North Star. This guidance system really has two key parts: the vision and the mission statement. So let's dig into what these are and why they are so absolutely crucial.
All right, first up, you've got the vision statement. The easiest way to think about this is as the ultimate destination on a map. It's that big, audacious, super inspirational dream of what the company hopes to become way down the line. It's all about answering that big question: what do we ultimately want to be?
Now, if the vision is the far-off destination, then the mission statement is the vehicle that's going to get you there. This is way more grounded in the here and now. It lays out the company's core purpose, what it does every single day, and why it even exists in the first place. This one answers the question, so what is our business really?
So this really lays it all out, right? A vision is your future destination. It's meant to inspire and it's built to last. A mission, on the other hand, is your ride for today. It's about what needs to happen now, and it can totally be modified as the terrain changes. But here's the catch. A brilliant vision is pretty much useless if you don't have a mission to bring it back down to earth. You can dream about that mountaintop all you want, but the mission is what actually paves the road to get there. Take Lego, for instance. Their mission is a fantastic example of this. It's not sell more plastic bricks. No, it's to inspire and develop the builders of tomorrow. It's so active and clear, and you can just feel how that single phrase guides everything they do. And then you've got Google. Their mission isn't just to be a really good search engine, it's to organize all of the world's information. Think about that for a second. That one sentence is the driving force behind everything. From search to maps to Google Books, it's their entire reason for being, summed up right there.
So you've got your North Star, your vision, and you've got your vehicle, your mission. But how do you actually start the engine and get on the road? How does a company take that huge, lofty idea and turn it into a real, concrete plan of action?
Well, this is the roadmap. You start with that big mission at the top. That gets broken down into more specific aims. Those aims are then translated into measurable objectives. The objectives tell you what your overall strategy should be. And finally, that strategy guides the day-to-day tactics, the actual things people do every day. It's kind of like a funnel, right? You pour this massive idea in at the top, and what comes out the bottom are these small, manageable daily actions. Okay, let's zoom in on that really crucial link in the chain, the objective. This is the point where all the abstract ideas become totally concrete. See, an objective isn't some vague wish like let's do better. It's a specific, measurable target that has a deadline. This is the point where you can actually start tracking if you're winning or losing.
So, the big question is, how do you make sure an objective is actually, well, good? The answer is, you make it SMART. This little acronym is your toolkit. It has to be specific, measurable, agreed upon, realistic, and time-specific. So instead of a vague goal like increase profits, a SMART objective sounds like this: increase profits by 10% over the next 2 years. See the difference? One's just a wish, the other is a real plan.
All right, so we've got the SMART framework down. Objectives need to be specific and measurable, but what are businesses actually aiming for? What kind of targets are they setting for themselves, especially in the private sector?
Profit is the one everyone thinks of first, right? But honestly, it's not the only game in town. A company might be focused on growth, trying to grab a bigger piece of the market pie. For a brand new startup, the main goal might just be survival, making it to next year. Others are all about protecting shareholder value or maybe diversifying their business to spread out the risk. The main thing to get here is that there's no single right objective. It totally depends on where the company is at. And this leads us to a classic tug of war in business, the constant battle between short-term gains and long-term growth. Do you try to make as much profit as possible right now to keep your shareholders happy with big dividends, or do you take that money and invest it back into the company, hoping for an even bigger payoff years down the road? Finding that sweet spot is, without a doubt, one of the toughest balancing acts in business.
But, of course, not every organization out there is chasing profit. What about the public sector? Their whole reason for being is often completely different, which means their plans and their objectives look different too.
And you can see the fundamental difference right here. The private sector, at its core, is about profit. The public sector, it's about providing a service. This is exactly why you might see a state-owned bus service running a route to some tiny remote village, a route that actually loses money. Why? Because their objective isn't profit, it's serving the community. Their financial goal is just to cover their costs, so they're not a burden on the government.
Okay, and this all leads us to a really exciting shift that's been happening in the business world. The very definition of what it means to be a successful company is getting bigger. It's no longer just about that financial bottom line. There's a new, much broader view of what a company's purpose really is.
And this is where this idea of corporate social responsibility, or CSR, comes into play. The idea is pretty simple, actually. A business is a corporate citizen. This means it has responsibilities not just to the people who own stock, but to its employees, its local community, and, frankly, the world. We're talking about a company's duty to do good, going way, way beyond just what the law requires.
A really powerful way to picture this is with the triple bottom line framework. It basically says that a company's true performance should be measured across 3 different dimensions. Sure, there's profit, but there's also its impact on people and its impact on the planet. True success, in this modern view, is all about finding a sustainable balance between all 3. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Is it just a nice idea? Well, let's take a look at Intel, a company that has really made corporate social responsibility a key part of how they do business. Now, this is just a perfect example of CSR in action. Intel set a clear, smart objective: get 50,000 of their employees to volunteer 1 million hours in a year. And get this, they didn't just hit their target, they absolutely smashed it. Over 68,000 employees ended up volunteering 1.5 million hours. That is the incredible power of setting a clear, socially conscious objective.
All right, so let's pull it all together. We've gone on a journey from a company's huge, lofty vision, its North Star, all the way down to the concrete plans and objectives that make things happen. And we've also seen how the very definition of success is changing, with more companies looking beyond just profits to their impact on the world.
And that leaves us with one final thing for you to chew on. Think about the businesses you interact with every day, the places you shop, the company you work for, the stocks you might own. What is their real objective? Are they just focused on the bottom line, or are they also trying to make a positive impact on people and the planet? How do they really define success?